Hi, and welcome to Q&A Wednesday with Nancy Estela. Today's question comes from a bunch of my students, specifically students that have come back after their freshman year in college. I've been meeting with several of them for coffee, and the question keeps coming up over and over. So the question is the following, more or less. Nancy, finding an internship this summer is very hard, especially in our current economy. What should or what can I do this summer that isn't wasting my time? So I want to devote this Q&A today to address this question because it is so common for college freshmen to have this same question in mind, especially if they're home, wasting their summer away with some, meaningless gig. So here it is. I'm going to give you a little bit of what I did during my first summer after college. After my first summer after college, I returned home because I was so tired. After an entire year of not sleeping, completing problem sets night after night, and writing lab reports and writing 10-page papers as if it were, here's a 10-page paper, I decided to come home and rest. And I needed it. I needed to come home and eat well and exercise because I honestly felt frazzled. So after a few weeks, resting felt like a waste of my time, and I wanted to do something. So when I was ready, I decided to apply for jobs. So I took on a job at a technical college, and you know what my job was? Well, I sat there all day calling back hundreds, maybe thousands of people by the end of the summer, and I answered questions they had on enrollment and about the program that they were interested in and about the courses they were going to take. In order to do my job, I had to literally become fluent in everything regarding the technical college. I went to work and I had healthy lunches, and later on I cooked myself a healthy dinner and headed to the gym every single afternoon to lose the freshman 45 I put on in college. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So what did I learn in my wacky job? I had the opportunity to speak to a variety of people. I had to listen for cues on why they didn't want to enroll and what their fears were, and I had to use psychology to make them reconsider. I also had to be creative in how I explained things because some things were hard to explain to different people, and I had to make sure they understood. I also learned how to modify my tone in order to sound warm and friendly to a complete stranger over the phone. I also learned I did not want to become a masseuse. No, but joking aside, the best part was that I made good money that I used to later on travel that same summer. So here are some tips to all of you college freshmen or not freshmen on what to do this summer. Number one, get a job. Any job, and get paid. Learn the value of money. Some of my students graduate high school without ever having a job. It is important to work for someone and be someone's employee. Every leader needs to be a worker down in the ladder at some point. So summer while in college is a perfect time. Number two, use that money you make and use it for something that really matters to you. Start a blog, buy a domain, buy a plane ticket somewhere cool, buy a bajillion books, buy a gadget that you really want. Turn something that may not make sense, the weird job you get organizing files at an accountant office, and translate it into something meaningful and memorable. Number three, learn something new. Identify one thing you'd like to teach yourself this summer. Some ideas? Computer coding. Maybe you want to start appreciating music. Maybe you want to teach yourself basic Japanese. Maybe you want to make, really good sushi. Dance ballet. Interview your living grandparents on how their life, was back in the day. Maybe you want to start your blog. Maybe you want to read about 15th century history, etc., etc., etc. Do and learn one thing that really excites you this summer. And if you do land that fancy internship, do your absolute best. And always, always, always do more than was expected of you. Wow them. That would be my tip for all of you with the fancy internship. Hope today's episode was super useful. Click like, share the content, and stay tuned for next Wednesday's Q&A with Nancy Estela, the channel about college admissions, career selection, parenting, education, and everything in between. Bye bye.